PlayStation Drive is starting. While you wait, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon on YouTube to be notified of future goodness. If you enjoy our show, we'd love it if you gave us a 5-star review or rating on your podcast service of choice. To continue the conversation, join the Carpool Gaming Discord, where you can find a wholesome community to have a chit-chat with. For some exclusive content, you can also support us on Patreon. And finally, don't forget to check out the Carpool Gaming website for an awesome range of merch. Links to all that and more are in the show notes, but without further ado, let's get revved up for the PlayStation Drive.
Whoa! What's up, everybody? Welcome on in to the PlayStation Drive, episode 156. I am one of your hosts, Ryan, and I am joined, as always, by Fulia, Matt, and Ron. How are y'all doing on this lovely, lovely Sunday evening? Or Sunday, whichever you prefer.
Sunday, yes.
And it's Monday.
You're right.
Oh, Jesus, what a downer.
It is Chon Day for Fulia. That's right. There's the immediate disdain on Ron's voice.
It sounds like you're saying Sean's Day, but you know what? Appropriate for considering the fact that it is the 1st of July here. So happy Canada Day to the Canadians.
Happy Canada Day from the future to you as well, Fulia. For those that celebrate, of course, tomorrow being the greatest holiday of all, Canada Day is happening tomorrow. Please be excited. Please be excited. But I hope everyone else is having a lovely day as well. Also, happy upcoming 4th of July to our American friends as well, which is also happening this week.
Yes.
Also, if you're watching the video version of this, obviously my surroundings look a little bit different because I am relaxing in my relaxy chair. I'm in my old man reclining chair because this is my battle station during the Final Fantasy 14-a-thon that is happening this week. So that's what's going on over here. So if I sound weird, also audio listeners, that's also why I have to talking to my microphone sideways, but I have to give the camera the side eye, essentially. So likewise, my compatriots, if I'm giving you the side eye, it's not because I'm trying to insinuate something. It's because that's just the way I have to look at the camera. So
totally fine.
Sorry about that.
All right.
But anyways, this is the PlayStation Drive. We talk about PlayStation all the time, except for when we talk about the weather or chairs or other things. So let's, of course, do a little bit of housekeeping. So, folks on the show, of course, if you're watching us here over at Patreon, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. It's just, you know what? My brain is just melted. Final Fantasy 14 is just taking my brain. New patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Of course, we want to say thank you to all of our new patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Of course, I just did the RPG Cave yesterday, so actually my brain was melding together the RPG Cave housekeeping, which is different from the housekeeping we do here. So, of course, we want to say thank you to Stanley Lissing, a.k.a. The Captain, who is upgraded to the Platinum tier, a.k.a. the official tier of the PlayStation Drive, of course, getting that Platinum trophy over on Patreon, patreon.com/carpoolgaming, but also Josh Coultier, who joined the exclusive tier. Exclusive. So, shout out to both Josh Coultier and the Captain for heading on over to that old Patreon, getting those exclusives, and, being awesome folks for supporting us and keeping the lights on here at Carpool Gaming. Also, of course, we have the Pants Patreon podcast for Patrons podcast. New episodes with myself, but also with Fee. So Fee did last week's episode. That was our first episode. And then I'm back again. And wouldn't y'all folks know it? Because hold on. Is the banner still here? Is the banner? Oh, I deleted the banner from last week. But it's Bubsy time for folks that don't know. Because on this week's episode of the Pants Patreon podcast for Patrons podcast, of course, I had to celebrate the return of Bubsy by, of course, having the whole episode themed around Bubsy with Bubsy music, and we talked about Bubsy a little bit, so go listen to that if you want to. It's on the Patreon over on the exclusive tier. Also, I mentioned it before, but I'm also streaming Final Fantasy 14 all week over on the twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live. Of course, today was day 3 of 7. It's a bit of a marathon. We're not even halfway through yet, folks. But you can head on over to Twitch. I'm playing it every single day this week, including the full campaign for Dawn Trail, as well as everything else, which we'll talk about later on in the show. And last but not least, of course, today is your last day, if you're watching on the video version, to pick up your Carpool Gaming Summer Game Fest merch. because it is going away at the end of the month. So this is your last chance if you want to get your poolside Bobby t-shirt or your tank top or your mug or anything else. carpoolgaming.com has all that. Well, without further ado, let's grab our 8 tracks, pop them in. It's time for the playlist. Time to talk about the games we played this week, and also time to give another person on the show a chance to talk besides myself. So, Ron, start us off, man. What'd you play?
I got the platinum on Space for the Unbound. It was a really good game. Chapter 5 was kind of a slog, and it started to drag the experience down a little bit, but after that point, it was able to sit there and kind of rebound with the story. The story was outstanding. That was pretty much the highlight of the game. The gameplay is pretty basic for an adventure game. A lot of backtracking, but like I said, that story was just so good that it just recovered everything. Any issue that I had with the game, the story was just that good. So totally worth the platinum. Like I said, glad I played it. Gets really heavy at the end of the game, but it finishes super strong. So that was a good one. And then earlier today, I started. Yes, Matt. Question already.
Oh, it's down.
Question, friend. Slow down with the gem that is Space for the Unbound. Slow down. Let's enjoy this game, please. All right. So a few questions. Don't spoil the theme of it, but I wanted to know your thoughts on, given the theme of the game, do you feel like it tackled it well? And number 2, do you feel like this game would be for everybody? Because it does hit people in the feels, but do you feel like, given the content, is it for everybody, or do you think it might be too, I don't want to say depressing, but if you're not in the right mindset, it can impact you differently. So those are my 2 big questions. Did it handle the theme well, and is it for everybody? No
theme,
spoilers.
in my opinion, the theme was handled well. Man, it's hard to talk too much about it without spoiling it, but everything that they tackled, I thought they did a very, very good job with. Man, I don't know. If you're not in the right mindset already for that game, I'm not sure if that game is going to be good for you if you are already kind of in a depressive mood or you are not in a great place. Because that game will take you there. You could be in the best mood, and it's going to make you think about things, whether it's in the past or what you're going through now. I think it's going to be pretty heavy on somebody if they're already going through some stuff. That's a game that you might want to play where you're in a good mood and you got your headspace right, and then you can play it, and it'll help you reflect a little bit. I don't think it's good if you're already in that place and you play that game. That's not going to do you any favors, I don't think.
Yeah, I wanted to ask just because the game does tackle a lot of mental health issues with anxiety, depression, and I feel like when the game it's a hard line, because if you don't handle it well, it can kind of exasperate the situation, or does it even pay respect to people who are going through it? Like I don't think I've mentioned it here, but like a game like Doki Doki Literature Club, I feel like it handled those similar themes very poorly without a lot of taste, whereas a game like Space for the Unbound, I thought it handled it very well and a lot of respect. And I always feel like if you're going to handle these topics, it needs to be done not just with respect and dignity, but it also needs to have some sort of positive message to it that these are some ways that you can get through it. And I feel like Space for the Unbound handled it well. It seems like you feel the same way.
They give you, so it's not totally depressive and dark all the way at the end. They do give you the hope and the message to kind of move forward and press on. So they do a good job of handling that. They don't want to just keep you there in that low spot and then just leave you hanging. So that's a good thing. And then the dev did a good job of pretty much giving you a disclaimer pretty much as soon as you start the game. Like, this game is going to take you some places. This is the things we talk about, so they pretty much let you know, like, this is what you need to brace for. So they did a great job with that, man. Like I said, overall, the gameplay is the only thing that really was the drawback for that game. The story was just outstanding. So, like I said, all the themes was handled well. They did a great job of bracing you for what was coming. So, yeah. Does that satisfy you, friend?
Oh, without spoiling it, I could talk to you about it for hours, to be quite honest. But
I was gonna say, this sounds like y'all have to have a bigger conversation.
Yeah, we could have a deep dive on that one. Like you said, it's gonna take away and spoil if we get too into it. That's one of those games where you can only talk but so much because of so much going on in the game. You're going to spoil it if you go deep dive. But aside from that one, Spidey 2 is what I started up, and it's everything that I was expecting it to be so far. It is pretty much Spider-Man with extra bells and whistles, which is fine with me because Spider-Man and Miles Morales were already great games. So still early in that, but yeah, the way things are going now, there's no way in the world this is going to disappoint me. So I'm expecting good things out of this. That's
good. Yeah, I'm glad that you're enjoying it so far, and yeah, I really like Spider-Man 2 a lot, so I'm very excited to hear what you think about it towards the end. And also, I love too that they kind of gave you the option to play as both Peter and Miles in their own games first before they brought them together in one game where you played as them together. And of course, I love the ability to switch between them in that game. So
yeah, it's like I said, man, it's starting off well. It's just Insomniac has pretty much just nailed the formula, so they know what they're doing with it. And like I said, right now it's great. It's great.
My God. Well, the Wheel finally picked a game that I finally heard of for this program. I'm very excited about that.
You've heard of Sea of Stars. You've heard of Ragnarok.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, Matt, save me from myself. Please tell me what you played this week.
We started a new Backtrackers game. It's called Stray Gods, the role-playing musical. Only played 15 minutes, so I can't actually comment too much about it. With the title, I'm assuming there's RPG mechanics, but I will give an update next week.
I was going to say, I know about this game.
Oh,
I know about it.
Do you know? You know about that? Okay, well, don't spoil it just because my preference is to go into Backtrackers games with like no knowledge. Like I don't even watch trailers. I don't even want to know anything about it just to get the full experience. So I'll give an update next week. So yeah, only 15 minutes. But what I can say so far is that the voice acting, music, and art style is like top notch. And like it always blows me away when indie games can deliver that. Like the voice acting is like, if you said it was a AAA game, I would have believed you. Like, you paid for S tier voice actors. Like, I was quite blown away by that. But we will see how it goes. It is another Backtrackers game. And before I move on to my next game, we did meet up yesterday for the Backtrackers to talk about Little Goody Two Shoes. And a very interesting thing came up, which was about, especially for me, like how I go into games with my mindset. Because I think I discussed this on PlayStation Drive and yesterday for Backtrackers. Little Goody Two Shoes, it's a hard game. It doesn't mess around. And I did a lot of reflecting, and I feel like if I knew that the game was hard before I played, or if somebody told me like, yo, Matt, this game's it doesn't mess around, there's a good chance that the first boss, where I would have died multiple times, I probably would have dropped the game. And I think it's because I would have gone into the mindset like, this game is going to be hard, it's just going to get harder. And the first roadblock, I probably would have dropped it. That's usually how it goes. So it's almost a good thing that I had no expectations, and I made it. Questions from the press pool? Yes, Rob.
Yes. Matt, friend. So it sounds like Little Goody Two Shoes is a training wheels Elden Ring. So perhaps maybe you should use this as a way to pounce into that. Mm-hmm.
One day. Not in 2024, but I am open to it. I am open to trying it. Will I see it through? Who knows? I am willing to try it one day. I would really like to wait for it to come, to Game Pass or PS Extra or discount. But you guys keep saying it's never going to happen.
I'm telling you, it's not.
FromSoft is never going to let that happen. That game is sold way too much.
Did you not see how them posting that Shadow of the Erd Tree just this week sold 5 million copies? They are never putting that game on Game Pass.
Not happening,
ever.
Man.
Okay. Well, then I expect my library to get it because it's such a hot game, and I'll, wait my turn for it then, because I don't want to pay full. There's a good chance I won't finish the game, but I'm willing to at least try it, so I don't want to pay full price for it. But I'm open to it.
Understandable.
Yeah. And the second game that I did play this week, and I did it, everybody. It only took 116 hours.
Yay!
I finally, I finally rolled credits on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. No platinum yet. I'm taking a very long break. Brief summary of it is, I love the game. It's fantastic. The combat is a huge upgrade from the second game. The open world aspects is much, much better. Music's great. Story, I liked it for the most part. Some parts are handled a bit weird, in my opinion. But overall, I loved it. What I can say is that so far, the platinum experience is inferior to Remake and to many other games. Like I'm quite burned out from it. Like I actually love the hard combat. Like I've talked about, fighting the summons at full might, spending 5 hours, and doing a battle cry of victory, because I love that stuff, and I love backtracking and doing different story paths. What I really can't stand is the excessive amount of mini games. It's too much. It is too much. It is too much, and it's not just how many. It's when they drop it on you, because I've put in 100 hours to make sure that I've 100%ed every single region, because I'm getting OCD and like I want to see that I've done everything before I move on. I get to chapter 12 and it's like, oh, by the way, there's new levels for every single mini game, and oh, by the way, here's a new side quest for every single region. It's like a slap in the face. It's like I'm almost at the end game, and you're dropping all this side stuff for me that ruins my OCD brain.
It's almost like you should have just rolled credits ages ago to then go back and do all that stuff.
Now, Ron, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like there might have been people on this panel that might have given him that advice before.
Yeah. We tried to help him, but he's a stubborn squirrel.
Well, you know what? That's how you learn, though. This is how you learn, because as soon as I looked at a lot of that stuff, Matt, I was just like, there ain't no way this will be worth it, going through all this stuff for the platinum.
Yeah. So the game overall, highly recommend it. The platinum, at this point, as a PlayStation fan, I don't know if I recommend it to everybody unless you really have a lot of time in your hands, because it's going to take me 200 hours. So I do have an announcement to make. I'm taking a massive break from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And how I'm forcing myself to take a break from the platinum is that I've packed up my PS5. Yes, I have. I packed it up.
What?
It's in a bag because I'm lending it to my best friend, who is a massive Final Fantasy VII fan. He doesn't have a PS5. He's like, I'm going to wait for a PC. I'm like, you know what? This worked out well. I rolled credits. I need to take a break from this game, because if I have it here, I might go back to it and, try to do stuff. And, so it's packed up. I'm lending it to him. I have my PS4.
Ron.
Question from the press pool. Go ahead.
So what are you going to be playing on for the next few weeks, month, 2 months?
I got my OG PS4 hooked up, baby, and I'm so happy, because whatever's left in my PlayStation backlog, they're PS4 games. Whether than PS Extra. Question from the press pool. Yes, Ryan.
Well, thank you so much for taking my question. Ryan Turford from Carpool Gaming, the PlayStation Drive, here with a question here for you, if you please. How, friend, at the end of next month, at the end of July, how are you going to be able to play the Concord beta if you don't have a PS5? Like,
I'm not playing that stuff. Jesus. I'll give away my PS4 before I play in Concord. Sorry, but everybody likes it.
It's not going to be that bad. Also, hold on. Riley King in the chat says it's time to buy another PS5. Matt.
Riley King. I'm a big fan of Court Lalonde from the PlayStation Drive, but I do not have a mountain of PS5s like him. So that's not happening. Another question from the press pool.
Yes.
Ron.
Do you have an air traffic controller for your PlayStation 4 once you turn it on and it starts to speed up?
Can I tell you something really funny? I'm playing Stray Gods, the role-playing music. It's an indie game. It's like 2D art style. I'm not joking. I was like, why is it so goddamn loud? There's the fan already. I was like, I'm not used to this anymore.
Man, that's going to be an adjustment for you. You know how loud that thing gets.
That was the first thing. I was like, whoa.
I was going to say, did you not open it up, pull the case off and stuff, and clean it out first?
Might need to do that. It's been a while.
I was going to say,
that's not going to help that.
That'll help with the fan noise at least a little bit.
But yeah, I am forcing myself to take a long break from Fantasy VII Rebirth. Don't worry, PlayStation fans. My PlayStation backlog is all PS4. Still got my OG. Happy to rock on it, and looking forward to it. But Fulia, I know Ron's going to be happy with your playlist. Tell us, what have you been playing?
Oh, boy.
Save the best for last. Save the best for last.
Let's go.
Save the best for last.
Ron's going to be happy. Tell us.
All right.
I was there for the stream. I was there for it.
I played a few games this week. And so one of them being, continuing my playthrough of Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. I'm in the middle of Chapter 3. I don't like that it's all battles. Just battles.
But it's a game.
You had to make up your mind. Do you not like reading or do you like the combat? Come on now.
It doesn't balance out very well, but anyway.
It's a video game. Of course there's going to be lots of battles. What did you expect?
No, but this particular chapter is literally like you're going into a fight, you come out, you go into the next fight, you come out, and it just keeps going until you get to, and it's a ranked match too.
Yeah, Nintendo
Right
gave you
now,
what you wanted. They gave
I
you
am
what you wanted.
currently at the 10th rank, which means I am now in the major leagues. So
Yes.
I still got a long way to go before I can fight against the final boss, which is the rank 1. And yeah, it's
You can do it. You can do it.
It's a bit of a slog.
Less
I'm not gonna lie.
reading. Less reading. And we
Less
all know how you
reading,
feel
but
about
now it's a lot more battle, and it's like I don't know what to do. Anyway,
She's so hard to please. So hard to please. Jeez.
look, my workmate who loves this game says that Chapter 3 is his favorite of the game, and I'm like, really?
I mean,
Chapter
if
3
you
is your
enjoy the
favorite?
combat, then yeah, that's yeah. I'm sorry.
To each their own, I suppose.
It's an RPG,
Anyway.
koala.
Too many battles.
God.
And I am not anti-video games. Come on, Riley.
Specific taste. Just very specific taste.
I have a very eclectic taste in games, okay?
Not
Yeah,
too much
very.
reading and not too much combat. Just a
Exactly.
perfect balance.
Yeah,
Need a balance.
exactly.
There you go.
Another game that I've been playing that I've been very addicted to has been Go Town. My gosh, I am loving that game so much. It is a town management sim.
I knew it.
But
I knew it.
it's so good. Oh my gosh. I just I
yes.
could sit there and play for hours and not realize that I've missed dinner.
Jesus.
Wow. Oh, that's a good sign. Then you know you're
It's
into
so
that
good
game. That's
because
good.
you just want to get
Love
to the
it.
next thing, and the next thing you want to unlock the next area, and you want to unlock the next, pack of items and stuff, and you're decorating your town, you're making sure everything is automated so that materials are getting delivered to restaurants and shops, and the farm is getting looked after, and people are doing your fishing, and they're out. You got people working in the mines and the forest, cutting down wood and
Oh,
mining.
yes,
all
got
that.
the workers
So
in the
it's-
mines.
I've got everything going right now. I've worked out how to make this game work for me, and my gosh, I am loving it. It is so good. I am the best mayor of my town.
So if your workers don't sit there and work up to snuff, do you fire them?
I shouldn't I?
You should teach them a lesson.
But
Keep
you know
them
what I
alive.
end up doing if they're not fast enough, I end up going and doing it myself.
Oh,
What
Booyah.
kind of-
They'll-
This
Until
does
I
not sound like good
advantage of you.
supervising. What's going on here?
until I
No.
unlock the next pack, which is to expand those areas so that I can hire a second employee to those areas. So, yes, multiple employees.
Oh boy.
Yes, I've worked this thing out to a T. Believe me, it is.
Oh no, doing your own work because somebody else isn't pulling their weight does not sound like
That doesn't
Like
sound
a
like
good
something a
idea.
mayor would do, Ron.
not
No.
at all.
Well,
It does not.
I have to sort
Good
of
citizen.
I have to give them, be a good example. Be like, so this is what you need to do. Now that I've done this, you do it.
You hired them
think
to
it
do
works
the
like
job.
that.
They shouldn't need you to show them exactly what. Hey guys, working hard is what this. That's
You gotta
you should
build
already
up
have
the
the
town.
work ethic.
You
The
gotta
work
build
ethic
up
should
the
be
town.
there.
Anyway, Go Town is great. It's amazing, and made by Australians. So definitely go support them if you can. The other thing that I recently started, and that is a recent release. Spy Cross Anya Operation Memories. Yay!
I forgot that was coming out this week.
It's the Spy Cross family game with Anya, who has to make a super duper awesome diary. That's her homework, to be able to show off to a classmate so that they can be friends. And we're just going around on little outings, as she calls them, and taking photos and making memories for her diary, which is really fun. And it's very cute. There's also mini games in it, which there's a little bit of, and if you know the anime itself, you know that you'll be doing spy stuff and assassin stuff. So in those mini games. And let me tell you, they're hard. in this game, this was supposed to be, I feel like, a kid's game. It's difficult.
Was it supposed to be for kids though? I don't think so. Like just because you're playing as a kid doesn't mean it's meant for kids.
Especially the spy section, because there's stealth involved, and I hate stealth, because that's why I don't play Assassin's Creed games.
You don't need stealth for Assassin's Creed games.
I mean, I think it depends on which one, Ron.
I played number 3.
One. The first one.
I played number 3, and I hated it.
Really?
Well, that was
I'm not really a stealth guy like that, and I've played every single Assassin's Creed game there is.
I actually think number 3 is probably my least favorite Assassin's Creed game.
That was the first one I was recommended to try.
No, 3's good. I mean, it's not great, but it's good though.
Yeah, I'm not good with stealth. I'm not good with stealth.
Nothing's good enough for her, Matt.
Excuse me.
Jesus.
Jeez.
I thought I was hard on games. Jesus.
That's true. Usually you are.
Exactly.
Just that look of disappointment. She's so disappointed.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Not so kind koala now.
The last thing that I play, which is the thing that Ron's gonna be very, very happy about. I finally got around to playing Duck Detective, The Secret Salami.
Yes.
Played that in one session. We quacked the case. We found out who the salami bandit was. My goodness, what a game. It's so funny. I love the voice acting in that game. It's so good.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
The dialogue's hilarious. So many duck puns.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
It's just, really good duck puns. You'll enjoy it, Matt. It's really good.
Sounds like I would like it if it's full of puns. I think I would like it.
Yeah, it's really good, man.
Yeah, it really is. And, like, it's... The way the gameplay of it all is essentially like it's a bit of a puzzle too because you have to figure out certain things, but you're constructing sentences as your clues to get to who actually ended up doing it, the who, the why, and the what. But it's fun, and the art style of it's really cute. It's very Paper Mario like in its art style, where the characters are flat 2D characters in this sort of like kind of open worldy sort of an office. You're at a bus station office. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad to have gotten around to playing Duck Detective. Highly recommend it. Please go check it out.
So am I. Took you long enough.
Look.
Yes, the aggression is building.
I had other things to do, okay?
Yes, manage towns.
Exactly.
Well, she's working hard in those towns, Rod.
Yeah, I know. She's doing all the work,
it takes
which
longer.
is not how it's supposed to be.
That's a lot of work to do.
Doing that, I'm looking after a cafe and coffee caravan.
Coffee caravan. You got Dave diving. It's just all kinds of stuff you got going on.
Lots of Sims. Like what? Like it's good fun.
I know. Yeah. I know what you like to do. You like to do that real life stuff.
It's true.
No,
I'm just in video games.
I'm just waiting for Fulia to come on one day and just be like, I played this little game called The Sims 4, and I got so addicted to it that I just didn't sleep. And it's like,
it's coming up.
Yes,
you're right. That's actually coming up.
Not happening. The last Sims I played was Sims 2, and that was ages ago.
Oh,
so
man.
It's changed a lot since then, though. It's great. Sims 4 is great.
I know, but now it's changed so much that it's like, I don't know that I'm really that into it.
There he is, snobby koala. Let's see, look at this.
Oh,
will you shut up, Rob?
Yeah. Yes.
The poking and prodding finally worked.
Only took half an hour.
All PlayStation
Ryan,
fans,
what have you been playing this week?
Finally get
Other than Final Fantasy 14?
Wait. There were other games besides Final Fantasy 14? I was not aware.
I thought there was.
I played Metroid Zero Mission this week.
Cool.
Which was very fun. Very fun to go back to the GBA. It's honestly one of my favorite games of all time. So it was cool to go back and revisit it this week. Of course, I'm wearing my Metroid hat to just, prove my fandom, I guess. But really, the game of the week for me is Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail, because honestly, it's one of I started a new work schedule this week, and I worked not one but two big news events this week that involved working overtime this week. So I just did not have enough time, as much time for games up until my my time off, which started on Friday. Because yes, I took off an entire week to play Final Fantasy XIV because I was so excited about it, and also because I knew that I was going to need it at this point. So, of course, we actually had a question in chat earlier in the show asking, Ryan, have you slept? And the answer is yes. I've slept quite a bit. I mean, Amanda, of course, I told her the number this morning. She was very, very happy with the number I gave her. The amount of an hour.
Man, everybody started talking about their sleep schedules, and
she was not happy. She was not happy.
So she was crying.
Yeah. So Kiku, of course, asked, "Have you even slept, Ryan?" The answer is yes, but very little. But then I also got asked, of course, how many hours I've played. Of course, from Riley King. How many hours have you played so far? So I've played it on stream and also off stream. So on stream, the current count is 23 hours on stream in 3 days. That's how long I played just the main scenario. And then I have also played, I would have to estimate another 10 hours off stream already. So pretty close to about 32 hours in 3 days. So yeah, I've played it a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's like 12-hour shifts almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
As it should be if you're taking time off to play a game.
Exactly. That's the way I look at it.
Well, wow.
The way I look at it is it's basically, it's like it's my job,
Yeah.
And it actually, like, I was going to go longer yesterday and today, but I cautioned myself not to do that because I knew we were going to have podcasts yesterday and today. So, like, I wanted to, preserve my voice a little bit. But it doesn't matter because this game is so fun that it's been very hard to put down. Of course, everyone knows I love Final Fantasy XIV. I've raved about it for years, nay, decades, because it's literally been a decade since A Realm Reborn came out. And, of course, Dawn Trail, the news expansion, is great. Like, in fact, in a lot of ways, it feels so much more refreshing to play versus a lot of the other Final Fantasy XIV expansions, because essentially, like, the storyline this time around is that, we've kind of dealt with all the world-ending threats already with the last expansion. We wrapped up the big storyline that was going on since the very, very beginning of ARR. So we are off to start a new adventure, but in a lot of ways, like, they wanted to make the tone, like, much more comedic and much more relaxed and just very chill, because so it just felt so relaxing and different from everything else that we've done in Final Fantasy XIV, where there isn't some big threat. Like, we're basically assisting this person who's in this contest to become the next ruler of this island nation called Terral, which is, inspired by Latin America. Like, Yoshi P talked about that in interviews quite a few times. And you can tell just by looking at the landscapes and the food and the culture and everything else. Like, it really feels like it's kind of ripped out of that area and kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of different countries that are put together. But it's just so fun. So you're going on this journey to try and help this person who's trying to become the Dawn Servant, which is kind of like the ruler of this continent, by consisting of these series of trials that force you to kind of go around the continent, or I should say two continents, because it's two continents that are ruled under one nation. And you basically are going around learning the culture of these different civilizations. So again, it's just a very different approach. You're not going out there to wipe out a big enemy or to really even fight a lot of times. You're there to, there's these bird people that kind of look like giant parrots, and they're all sad because they usually have this big celebration this time of year, but there was a big storm that came in and destroyed a bunch of their houses, and they're trying to put their lives back together. So you need to kind of like, you learn more about their culture and why they put on the festival in the first place. And then you're like, well, maybe we put on the festival to kind of like help bring morale back and kind of, bring smiles to their faces again like that. So, there's a lot of really great stuff in Dawn Trail. I'll talk about it more, obviously, in the weeks to come. Or again, I'm still streaming it on Twitch all week. You can watch me play through the entire game. It's over there. But so far, so good. Like, I'm really enjoying this expansion. I definitely feel like, some people who like the more serious stuff might, be turned off by Dawn Trail. But for me, like, I think this was like the right move to kind of go in a completely different direction for this particular expansion, and I think they did a great job with the game. And also, the 2 new classes this time around are very fun to play. In fact, I'm actually mainlining the Pictomancer class, which is basically killing the enemies with magical paint. Is essentially how I'm killing the enemies. Like, I've got a staff that's shaped like a paintbrush, and I'm basically like painting like fire or ice, or painting different monsters or a giant hammer made out of paint to whack the enemies with. I'm sliding around the arena like I'm like on like a Splatoon hoverboard. It's such a good time.
Yes, people, it does sound amazing, and it looks amazing.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So
Yeah.
yes. I have not been able to stop putting it down, and like I'm actually like, as we're doing this podcast, I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, I can't wait until the podcast is over so I can go back and play more. As much as I love you.
That knows when you got a great game, though. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you know of a
Exactly.
good game. It's like, what's this
Yeah,
podcast? That's how I can play my game.
Although again, like the key is I can't play the main scenario until I stream again tomorrow, because I'm only playing it on stream. So it's just like, there are obviously other things to do outside of the main story. But I'm just really itching to get back to the main story, and I'm just like, I can't believe I gotta wait till tomorrow morning to do this. Maybe I just fire up the stream later tonight, and then that's a dangerous thought, and I'm not doing that. So, yeah. Anyways, we should probably, slide. God, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. We should probably slide on into the topic of the week. So, with rumors out there that there might be PS3 backwards compatibility coming to the PlayStation 5, which we don't really talk about rumors on the show, so we're not going to obviously talk about those. But we wanted to celebrate the PlayStation 3 by talking about, well, what games from the PlayStation 3 era do we want to come to the PlayStation 5? What games do we feel like need to be playable on modern platforms? Now, I don't know about y'all. I brought a whole bunch of these. Because there's a lot of PlayStation 3 games that I really enjoy that I would love to see come over. But we're going to try to limit things to 3 so then this podcast isn't like a bajillion years long. Mainly so I can go play Final Fantasy, but also so all of y'all audio listeners don't have to listen to our voices forever. So we'll go around the table and talk about the games we would want from the PS3 era to come to consoles or PS5. Starting with Ron. Give us your first one, man.
I got to go with the God of War collection, and I'm talking about the main and the origin story. Just give it all, just one big giant release, the whole collection. Sony is very odd when it comes to some of their old legacy titles. You have it on the PS3. I don't know why. Fine, if you don't want to bring the PS3 emulation, you can't figure it out. Where is the collection at, and why does it not exist? You're up there remastering games like The Last of Us that don't need it. God of War collection needs that. That's what I want. Bring Kratos into old school glory when he was a murderer, and just let everybody enjoy where he started off before the 2018 version. It's money. I mean, I don't understand what's going on there.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I was gonna say, yeah. Like, why do you think Sony has it? Do you think it's because of technical limitations, or is there something else where you think like this old Kratos will taint the image of the new one? That's not what kind of the types of games Sony does anymore. Like, what? I'm curious myself. Like, it's easy money, like you said. Like, I don't know.
It's hard to say. They've left so many of the legacy stuff, and I mean, you had collection sales that are available like in the store for PS3 still, where you can buy all of them. So it's like, I don't know if it's a cell processor problem or what, but you've had other games that were on the PS3 that third party has put on PS4. So I'm not really sure why Sony hasn't done it. So I'm assuming there's a method to the madness somewhere there.
well, I was going to say, Ron, like, it's important to note that two of those games are PS2 games, and 2 of them are PSP games, both of which are currently supported by the store. So even if they didn't want to do a collection with the PS3 cell processor version, they could just port those, and it'd be fine. So
yeah, I agree with you, man. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
It's very confusing because I'm sure as we get with our other games on our list, you know, it's obvious. It's like, well, Sony's not going to make that much money if they put all this time and effort into putting this game on PS5. The God of War collection, the OG, they're going to make money.
Yeah, that's
Like,
going to sell.
like, it's very confusing.
Not only that, not only is it a money play, but also too, like, the story ties, even though like there's not huge chunks of the story that tie into the modern God of War games, it still ties in, and it's still like important context.
Yeah, especially in 2018. There's a pivotal moment in 2018 where that pretty much flashes back to the old Kratos.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's so confusing. It is really weird.
Yeah, it's too bad. I still feel like even if we don't get that, they'll at least do the PS2 re-releases of the God of War games on PS2.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
I think that makes perfect sense because like they're doing the PS2 re-releases now. Like we just got that started last month, and then there's more of them coming next month. So like I feel like now's the time to do that. Although we haven't really seen that with first party other than Sly Cooper. So
yeah, that's it. Just the first Sly. That's it.
Yeah. I'm curious to know what we get in July for PS Plus with PS2 games. And by the way, even though they're part of PS Plus Premium, they're also always available by a la carte as well. So you can always pick them up if you don't have Premium. But Matt, what about you? What's your first one?
My first one is the perfect example of a game that probably won't make a lot of money if they did bring it to PS5, but I still feel like it is such a gem on the PS3, which is shout out to Marcus O'Neill, The Puppeteer. I know not too many people know about that game. It's a fantastic 2D, sometimes 3D scrolling, but like I remember the first time I played it, like the art style was just absolutely stunning. Like it does not look like a PS3 game. Like if you said it was a PS4 game, I'd say, yep, I can totally see that. Just such a unique game that I don't think, especially Sony, kind of puts their money and development into. Just the beautiful art style, because everything is done kind of like from a puppet show, so it kind of flows. It keeps to that theme the entire way. You're on string. You have to use scissors to cut things. It's just beautiful, and it's just a shame that it is stuck on the PS3. Yes, I would assume there's technical aspects to it that they can't just port it over. And is Sony going to spend all this money on bringing over a game most people don't know about? Probably not, but I'm hoping that if there is a way to, somehow make the PS5 be able to easily play PS3 games, I think that one needs to be, just because, again, I'm a big proponent of unique experiences and, pushing things so that the gaming industry moves forward. And Puppeteer is that type of game. Like that's kind of like that perfect example that Sean Layden was talking about, his, famous E3 speech, where it's like, it's not about making money, it's about providing a new experience. And Puppeteer is one of them. And again, it's just a shame, and there's lots of people who missed it, and I highly recommend it. Like I feel like Fulia would love that game. I think it's a little bit hard, well, at least for me. But you know what? I think that's their art style.
Hard. How dare you?
I am awful. I am awful at platformers. So like, which game? Like I think it was like Doom has like some platforming, and I'm like, I cannot jump for the life of me. Yeah. So yeah, any games that involves like specific platforming, it's really rough. So Puppeteer took me a few tries, but I do highly recommend it. Somehow,
yeah, Puppeteer is great. It is a great game.
Bring it back, Sony.
Yeah. Also, Afterworld was not hard either, but we all know that game's hard. So
it is not.
It's not hard.
It is so easy.
Sorry, it's not hard. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's chill. It's relaxing game.
Amanda's gonna be so upset.
It's true. You can just sit back and relax. That's what that game is for.
It is
I can't speak on it. It looks like it's not a hard game, but I can't speak on it.
It is so easy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Amanda, but
Puppeteer could actually be hard.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
There's a mode where you can do it so that you can actually like float and glide.
Apparently,
like,
she put on Flutter mode and it was still difficult. And I'm like, really?
Well, being so mean to Amanda right now.
Hey,
what's going on here?
Hey, there are gamers of all skill levels. There are gamers of all skill levels.
You're dang right.
That's right. This is not get good. This is not get good territory.
Hashtag get good.
It's not a get good game.
Well, Fulia, speaking of hashtag get good, what's your first game?
All right, so my first game, and I'm surprised that this actually hasn't come to to the new gen consoles, because it's on PC, and everyone can play it, and it's on Switch as well now. Is Portal 2? How is this not on the PS5 already? Like, I even checked on the PlayStation Store; it's not there. I'm like, this is a good platforming game with puzzles. It's perfect for a console. You had it on the PS3. Bring it to the PS5. Give us a PS5 port of this. Update the graphics a little bit, and we're good to go. You don't need to do anything else. I really enjoyed this game. I started playing it on the PS3. I never finished it on the PS3. However, I did still go ahead and finish it on PC. It's still good. And I even played multiplayer with this, like co-op. And I played online co-op with this. And I had fun. And I had lots of fun. So I don't understand how this is not on the new gen consoles yet. Like, come on, Sony. Bring it to the PS5.
Nice choice. Nice choice.
Yeah.
Good
I was
answer.
not expecting
Good
that.
Answer. Yeah. I mean, it's up there with Orange Box as well, which is the collection with Half-Life 2 in it, but also the original Portal is where the original Portal came from. So, like, that's the kind of thing, too, that should be on modern consoles as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's backwards compatible. Both of those are backwards compatible on Xbox, but, you know, we can't have that. We don't have that on PlayStation, which makes me sad. Yeah. Well, my first one is one that I have to steal from Ron before Ron says this one. Alpha Protocol. We need Alpha Protocol to come back. What are we doing here? What is going on?
You knew
Obsidian
it was gonna happen.
Spy, a role-playing game. Like, come on. Alpha Protocol is such a good game. It just got
100%.
re-released on PC, and it's nowhere near the PlayStation consoles at all. It's on the PS3, and you can't even buy it anymore unless you get a physical copy somewhere. But Alpha Protocol, such a good game, and it's nowhere to be found on modern platforms, and it makes me sad every time I see that. I mean, I could play it. I'm like, I could buy the GOG version, but I don't want to play it there. I don't want to play it on my PlayStation 5, you know, on my console. Yeah. Where I wanted to.
It's always something about console. It just feels right. It feels right.
Yeah. God, that game's so good, Ron.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. That was gonna be my next one too.
Excellent. I'm glad I could just rob that from you.
He knew it was gonna happen. But I have another small title though. Well, it's not a small title, but a lot of people didn't play it. Remember Me. That was Dannoh's first game, and Remember Me was very good. Very good. Female protagonist, futuristic world. The storyline was great, and the combat was solid. But for some odd reason, man, it's just, I don't know. Capcom didn't really put the building behind it, so they didn't market it too well. I didn't end up getting the game until way after it had released. I was watching a YouTube Let's Play, and a guy was talking about it on there, so I went and watched one of his old videos, and within like 15 minutes, it's like, yeah, I'm going to start watching this. I'm going to go ahead and buy this and play it. And yeah, man, Remember Me was so good. But if you want to play it on anything outside of PS3, you're out of luck. Well, of course, if you want to play it on PC, but I'm not going to count that.
No.
It's just one of those games that I wish we could have that on the newer consoles, because that's a game that everybody deserves to try to play, because it was just great.
I mean, the coolest thing about it, Ron, was it was published by Capcom. And as a result, it had a bunch of Street Fighter crossovers. You got a bunch of Street Fighter moves and outfits and stuff like that, and it was so silly.
Some of them look pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that's true. But it's very different because it's not like the Life is Strange part of Dannoh that is from this. I think this is the team that worked on Vampire.
Yeah, well, it was very actiony, which was fine with me. It worked out great. It's weird because Vampire was not the same quality title as Remember Me was. So
exactly. In fact, I don't know if you know this story, Ron, but originally, did you know that it was originally supposed to be a PlayStation for second party game at one point?
I did not know that. No.
Oh, so when Dannoh was going around pitching the game to publishers, they actually had agreed to a deal where it was going to be a Sony second party game, kind of like Heavy Rain was, like where it was going to be published by Sony. But it kind of fell through as the game was being developed, because I guess Sony wasn't liking how the game was shaping up. So that's how actually it ended up at Capcom, was they were like, the deal fell through with Sony, so they needed to find another publisher pretty quickly. And Capcom, seeing what they saw with the game, they're like, oh, we'll take this on.
Which is odd, because it's, I don't know, man. You play the game, it looks like a game that Sony would be interested in. So
exactly, it feels like it's like in that type of type of game that they usually publish, right? Which makes sense when you hear that story.
Yeah, didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah. God,
really selling me on this game. What is it about? Because I do like Dannoh games. Well, what's it about though?
There's a mystery behind it. Can't tell you, because of course, but it's a futuristic world. There's lots of combat in it. And like I said, the combat's solid. You can pretty much customize your combos and stuff like that. I just don't know how in the world you would be able to play it. Maybe it's on Xbox?
It is not backwards compatible on Xbox.
Okay, then yeah, man. Steam is going to be the
PC
only
only at this point.
Yeah. So Steam's going to be the only way to play it.
Or I think it's
Is it not
streaming on PlayStation Plus.
Is it on the digital store for PS3? Or I gotta find a physical copy?
Is it? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
There's still hope. All right.
Yeah, because it actually came out at the end of the PS3's life cycle. I think it came out the same year the PS4 came out, 2013. So, yeah, as a result, like most games that came out that year were available digitally.
And it's probably cheap, Matt. Just saying. If you want to get the physical copy.
I was gonna say I actually own that game digitally. Now that I think about it, on PS3.
I want to say I think I also did the same when Sony was saying they were going to close the store down. I think I bought it digital. I have the physical copy, but I think I bought it again just to make sure.
Just
in
double check.
case.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do that double support. It happens.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Next up, Matt, hit us with your next game, man.
My next game that I really feel I'm assuming it is coming, but since it's not here on the PS5 yet, it's part of my list, which is Metal Gear Solid 4. I think it's a fantastic game. It's not my favorite from the entire series, but that's such a big part of the PlayStation 3. Like it was such a big monumental moment, right? It's like, I mean, I don't know if he advertised it as his last game, but that's the latest one in the storyline at least. And you know, I'm not even like a super hardcore Metal Gear Solid fan, but even I can appreciate the love and attention in Metal Gear Solid 4 in terms of like paying homage to 3, 2, and especially 1, in terms of like the music that they used, in terms of like story beats that they brought back. Like it, yes, I know Kojima does a lot of convoluted storytelling. Like, yeah, I know that. I'm fully aware of it, but he still does make an effort to bring it together as best as he can within this convoluted plot line. But he does pay homage, especially to like really super hardcore fans. Like they loved it, and I can appreciate it. From that sense, combat's fantastic. I still like, I played it pretty recently. I still feel like it does hold up quite a bit, and you know, I still haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5, but from my understanding, that one's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of combat's good, gameplay's good, but storyline is, well,
Cheeks.
Kojima probably didn't want to write the story. Yeah, he didn't.
Well, it's also
number one,
unfinished.
it's not finished. It's unfinished for God's sakes.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like all the turmoil with Konami was happening towards the end of development, and they just never finished the story.
Right. So to me, like Metal Gear Solid 4 is the last, you know, complete project for Metal Gear Solid 4 that was done by Kojima. So I'm assuming it is going to be part of the Master Collection Part Volume 2. Yep. But it's not here yet, so hopefully it does come. Because it's good. It's a really fantastic game. And again, not everybody has played it, you know. Metal Gear Solid Delta is coming out. It's time to bring back the hype. I don't need a remaster or a remake of MGS4. It's fine. Just port it over. Don't overcomplicate it. It's fine. Just bring it over. I know people poo-poo on the long cutscenes. If you're invested, you know, just sit back. Just enjoy. Like, it's cinematic. It's good cinema. I know it's not a good video game cutscene because it's so freaking long, but it's good cinema. Like, you just sit back, have a drink.
People who are fans of the games of now can play those games. Kojima was ahead of the curve back then. Now almost every game does it, so anybody can play those games now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're right, definitely right. Like people freaked out about that at the time, but it's just like we just didn't have games at the time that had 45-minute cutscenes.
Yeah,
they're so good, and the voice acting, like, just love Metal Gear Solid. Love it.
Nobody, fantastic. I don't think is ever going to say anything bad about Kojima and his production skills. His production skills is top notch. There's not many in the industry that come close to what he can do production wise.
Yeah, it's the craziness. Not everyone can deal with the
writing. The writing is.
You're making me sad because I'm thinking about how we didn't get PT Silent Hill from Kojima now. Just because I got my PS4, I'm like, I have PT on it, and I was just thinking about, I was like, you know, really wish I got that game from Kojima. It's such a shame.
Yeah,
it's too bad.
But as a Silent Hill fan, though, I was a little bit worried about that. I was just like, I don't want this.
Too much.
It's gonna be too weird for Silent Hill. So
even for Silent Hill, it's too weird.
For Silent Hill fans,
oh no, man! Kojima horror game. That's gonna. Woo.
Yeah,
that would be wild.
Right? See?
I mean, I'm glad it didn't work out because it would have just been a game carrying boxes around a mountain and then falling down the mountain, your boxes just fall open everywhere and you're just sad.
That does sound like a nightmare.
That does.
Oh,
the truest nightmare. But, Fulia, what about you? What's your next game?
This is probably going to be my only other option because I didn't have more than 2, to be honest.
That's fine. That's okay.
All good.
I used to play a lot of fighting games back in the day.
Let's go, Fulia.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
And I kind of feel like I want to scratch that itch somehow. But I wish that this could come back, Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
I didn't see that coming.
I actually like this game. I had a lot of fun with it.
A lot of people did.
Yeah. I was playing, I think I played through the DC storyline of this game, and it was just so fun being able to play all these different superheroes through, and then, just being able to, fight, Mortal Kombat characters against DC characters. And it was like a mind-blowing experience for me because I'm like, they could do this? That's so cool. Yeah. And yeah, and because Mortal Kombat was my first ever fighting game when I was a kid, I had to get it. And it's kind of like one of my favorite games. And I just wish that they could make a PS5 port of this because it's really good.
Nice.
Nice choice. Yeah. That was a surprise one.
Yeah. No, instead we just kept getting the Injustice games. We got Injustice 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But not Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather King points out, I thought she was going to say Def Jam Icon. I had my hopes
never even
up.
heard of it. I never heard of
Def
it.
Jam Fight for New York and Vendetta were actually good games. Icon was not.
I don't know.
I actually agree with Ron's take on that
Yeah,
one.
Vendetta and especially Fight for New York. Fight for New York was, boy, that was awesome.
Yeah. Fulia, in case you didn't know, the Def Jam games are basically fighting games, but they're with the characters, or not characters, the real-life personalities from Def Jam Records fighting each other.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Yeah,
So
and
good.
the engine was pretty much a hybrid of the Aki wrestling games at that time. It was just a great game. It really was.
Yeah. I mean, if you like rap music and wrestling, like it's a great fit. So.
It's a given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my second game is actually 2 games, but it's one complete
Oh,
experience.
one experience.
One experience.
What?
Yes,
no.
one
Okay.
experience. So, this is actually a licensed game. It's based off a comic book. It's The Darkness 1 and 2. These are first-person
Oh.
Man, I
shooters
forgot about those.
made by Starbreeze,
Yeah.
who makers of Payday, but they also made the Chronicles of Riddick games as well, which is also a great pick, by the way. Chronicles of Riddick. Make that come back too. But The Darkness, I love it because, of course, I was actually a big fan of the comic book, but this was almost like a reboot of the Darkness character in a lot of ways because you play as Jeki Astaccato, and he's like the head of a mob family essentially. And on his 21st birthday, he inherits the power of the Darkness, which is an evil entity that is passed down through generations within his family. But as soon as he has a child of his own, the Darkness passes on, and he actually dies. So he's of course trying to avoid this, but having the power of the Darkness kind of brings bad things to him in a lot of ways, where his uncle kind of betrays him, and he goes on this big kind of revenge spree after his girlfriend's murdered. So I love The Darkness. I think the story is fantastic. I love Michael Patton, aka the lead singer of Faith No More, who plays the Darkness. He does such a good job as the voice. But it's also a really interesting first-person shooter because not only do you have your standard guns and you've got you can dual wield some pistols or assault rifles and stuff like that, but you also have your Darkness abilities. So you have these 2 snakes that come out of your shoulders, and they can eat the enemies or just rip their hearts out and stuff like that. Or you can summon these undead thralls that'll help you out in battle or help open doors for you and stuff like that. And it's such a cool and interesting and unique game, or set of games, because the Darkness 1 and 2 are both very, very good games, and I really enjoyed them a lot. So if you like first-person shooters, definitely check them out. And these are ones that are kind of like lost classics that I would love to see come back from the PS3 era. I know they're backwards compatible on Xbox, but I would love to see them come back on PlayStation.
Good pick, man. I forgot about those games.
Yeah. Very, very good games. But Ron, give us your final one, man.
A lot of hard choices like you, Ryan. I had a whole list, but I'm going to have to go with one full experience, the Ratchet and Clank collection. Where are they at? Ratchet and Clank, the best, one of the best platforming mascots in gaming. These guys have great games. Quest for Booty, it was the only game that was kind of like, as far as the mainline titles go. Where are they? All of them. It's just like, come on, Sony. I know you love money. And once again, like the God of War collection, that's going to be money right there. Everybody who had loved Rift Apart, that had never played any other Ratchet and Clank games, they need that. Because they're important. Especially at Crack in Time, which is an outstanding game. They got to do that. They got to bring Ratchet and Clank back.
I'm surprised I actually haven't played those games, to be honest, because I played the PS4 version, like the Essentials one, and I actually really enjoyed that one. So I'm kind of surprised that I haven't gone to hadn't come across those ones when I had the PS3.
Yeah, because not only did we get the Ratchet and Clank collection of the PS2 Ratchet and Clank games, but then also we had the Ratchet and Clank games that were on PS3, like Ratchet and Clank Futures,
right there in the store. Whole
Tools of Destruction. Quest for Booty, Crack in Time. All those games were really good, too. So, yeah. Good picks, Ron. Good picks. I kind of want them to just bring all of them back, by the way.
Yeah.
All of them.
Look, I'll buy them again.
Same. Of course. I'll even buy Ratchet and Clank Size Matters for the PSP again if you bring it back.
I can't go that far, but that and Deadlocked and All for One, that's not happening. But
yeah.
But the other main ones, yeah.
Oh God, Ratchet Deadlock. Oh man, that's a game. That's a game. That's probably the worst one. Ratchet Deadlock.
I didn't feel like a Ratchet and Clank game at all.
Well, it was not meant to be. It was.
Obviously, you could tell.
Yeah. All right, Matt. What about you?
I'm going to continue the trend with everybody else and do one full experience, and it's going to be Infamous 1 and 2.
There we go.
It is stuck. It is stuck on the PS3. I don't know why. Yes. And
Koala has it. What?
Yes, the platinum version.
It's not mine, it's my sister's.
Oh.
Hey, it's in the family. Doesn't matter.
She knew it's going to come up.
Play it.
I knew it was going to come up. That's why I had to bring it up here.
Exactly. But it's just, it truly is mind-boggling, right? Like, you just look at Nintendo. They're like, here's an old game. We're going to charge you full price. People buy it. It's raved by critics. Sony, you got to stop undervaluing your IP. You bring this stuff back. You bring Ratchet and Clank. You bring back Infamous. You just port it over. I mean, please don't charge us full price for it. But,
don't pull a Nintendo, please. Yeah. Nintendo fans are totally different from Sony fans. Do not do that.
Let's not go that far. But, you bring it over half price, we will buy it again. We will buy it again, right? Like it is easy money, right? Like it's so confusing. And, to me, Infamous is such a important part of the PlayStation 3 generation. Like it's such a unique property. Yes, I know like Last of Us and God of War and Spider-Man, like they are very story driven. Infamous is just it's just a games game, right? Like the story's good. I'm not poo-pooing on it, but it's just a games game, right? And it's like, you get to mess around with like different superpowers, and I don't know if there's too many games in that generation where like you can pick between, being a jerk or being a hero and actually having an impact on like the superpowers that you get. Such a phenomenal game, in 1 and 2, and again, just mind-boggling. Yes, I'm sure that there's technical aspects to it, but just put some time and effort, money, and like, listen, we will buy it. I'm gonna buy it. Ron's gonna buy it.
I'll buy it.
We're gonna buy it. Yeah. See, we'll buy it. And I already own it on PS3, but I'll buy it again. Like
I own the digital and physical copy of PS3, so yeah, I will do it again.
I feel like I need to plug in my PS3 just to see what it's like, because I've never played it before.
You should.
It's a lot of fun. And you know what? It's fun to be it's fun to be. It's not a villain, but it's fun to be
anti-hero.
A superhero. Yes, an anti-hero that doesn't do people's work.
You can be a villain in that game.
You sure can. 100%. I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that, of course. No.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Ryan.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
You get to deal out justice the way you want to. All right.
Yes,
that's
by murdering
how I-
everybody.
Yeah, there you
Murder-
go. Deal out justice.
I didn't say that. I didn't say murder everybody.
Just avoid fences. You can't climb fences in this game. So,
That's true. And the water. You can't go in the water
yeah,
either.
yeah. You have all these you have these great superpowers, but a fence, that's going to be your ultimate nemesis.
And
Wow,
and
okay.
water. Can't go in water. You instantly die.
wow. Okay,
Because he
so
uses
it's
electricity.
Yeah, he uses
It's-
electricity
right.
power,
Right.
so the water fries
Okay.
him.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
And then
That's so
the
weird.
fence.
The fence
I'm not
thing
sure,
is,
but
yeah,
yeah.
the fence thing is totally weird.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's worth playing. You should pull the PS3 out and play this, and go to the store and buy the Ratchet and Clank collection while you're there.
Can I though?
Yep, the store.
Is PS3
now you'll have to
store still
load up. You have to load up money from a different account. But as long as the money is
Your
there,
app.
you can buy it.
Yeah.
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 It's a hassle,
Good
but you
luck
can
to
still
me
do
then.
it. You can do it.
Yeah.
You
Or-
can
I
do
mean, you
it.
can,
Yeah.
please, there are physical copies. You can get a physical copy. It's
Yeah, you can get a physical copy. Yeah.
eBay.
the difference is if you buy it on the PS3 store digitally, and it does eventually come to PS5, you will then get the free version of the PS5 version
Yep.
when it comes.
That's what happened when Grandia came. I
Yeah.
bought that, and
So with
Grandia
Legend of
was
Dragoon for
available
me.
there. I was like, yes.
All those PSP games that came, I already owned all those. So
But does the account does Sony know that you've already purchased it if you use the same account
as long as
from
you use
like
the same
back
account.
then?
Yeah.
From back then, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. No, again, it recognizes purchases, Fulia, that I made 12 years ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not lying. That's how when Grandia came over, I made that Grandia purchase a while back.
Yeah.
And
Like
it was
those
there
Wild
and
Arm
available.
games, I had already bought those when they first came to the PS3 store in 2007. But I got them for free when they came to the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So,
They were very
Okay.
sneaky with the Sly Cooper release, though. They were like, "Oh, this is the PS4 game, not the old."
well, no,
one.
because that never
Psych.
came to the PS3
Yeah,
store. Bro.
that it never came to PS3, really.
No, it came as part of the Sly Cooper collection. There's a Sly Cooper collection that came to PS3,
Yeah.
but they never did like a PS2 like backwards compatible game.
Yeah, it's not the same game, really.
Yeah,
So,
I think it'll be interesting though, Ron, because there are some other PS2 games that were on PS3 that didn't come to PS4 or PS5, like the Fatal Frame games, as an example. So I wonder if those actually end up coming into PS5, if the purchases will count. Because I would assume they will.
yeah, I hope so. I have quite a few purchases there, so that's fine with me.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Jish points out, of course, it's also on PS5 via streaming via PlayStation Plus. But this is not what we're talking about here.
I don't do that. Here.
You don't like to stream games.
Yeah.
No. We
I
don't
don't
do
like
that
to
here.
stream games.
I mean, I actually don't
We don't
mind
do
it
that
with
here.
certain games. Like if it's like a certain type of game, I don't mind it. But
I can't do it here. I don't have
Well,
that.
that's 'cause-
I don't have that ability.
it's Australia. It's fine. It's whatever.
Sorry,
It's whatever.
I don't stream no games.
Anyways,
I can do like a shout out, I suppose.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
sure.
a
Give a
collection.
shout out. Please shout.
I've got so there's a collection of games. I don't think they'll ever bring it to PS5 though. That's the thing. But I love playing them so much, and that
You better
was
see
the
Harvest Moon.
no. I never played farming sims back then. What are you talking about? I was always sports or music, and when I say music, Guitar Hero and Band Hero.
Oh, let's
like,
go.
Those games would be amazing if they brought it over to the PS5. I still have my peripheral, so if you bring out an adapter for that, dude, I'll be all over it.
Well, actually, Fulia, I don't know if you knew this. An adapter for those already exists. But it is very expensive because they didn't make very many of them. Because it came out when Guitar Hero, when Rock Band 4 came out. They gave you an adapter to connect any of those wireless controllers to it, but it goes for like $400 to $500 on eBay at this point.
So you know in Australia it's going to be like double or triple.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sony, just make a cheaper version, please.
Well, that's a lot to ask for Sony. Stuff.
Yeah, I know. But that's the thing. Like, I really loved playing those games. Like, just rocking out, being able to play with friends as well.
Yeah.
Make it online playable, online multiplayer.
They already were.
Amazing.
Like Rock Band, or Guitar Hero and Rock Band were both online back in the day. You
I
just have to
never
turn the server
had-
back on.
I never did that back then. I always had friends come over.
Oh, okay.
Nothing wrong with that, Koala.
Yeah.
The way
My
it used to be.
PlayStation was. I don't think I remember. My PlayStation may have been. I don't think it was hooked up to to internet at all back then. So, yeah, we had to just go to each other's houses to be able to play that sort of game. But yeah, I want to see the Guitar Hero and rock band hero stuff come back because they're fun.
Yeah,
nice.
I still think off stream, maybe I should bring some Guitar Hero Rock Band stuff to Extra Life. We can play off stream.
Yes, please.
Because we can't stream those.
Yes.
But we can. But that doesn't stop us from getting another TV and playing those at Extra Life.
Of course.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I love it.
Look, Koala's glowing.
Yeah.
All for it.
She's all in.
Very excited all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Just give me the drum set.
I know
I'm good.
Lee and I talked about that a few times because Lee wanted to bring a bunch of Rock Band stuff last year. So we'll have to look at that. But all right, my last pick, of course, one of the greatest first-person shooters of all time. It stands among the greats. Doom, Wolfenstein, Half-Life 2. Aliens, Colonial Marines. Comp Randy Pitchford.
There it is.
Get 2K and Gearbox on the phone.
I thought this man was about to say Killzone. Oh, boy.
We need to bring back Alien Colonial Marines because it's one of those things where I talked about it on the Patreon podcast for Patrons podcast this week when talking about Bubsy the Bobcat. But just because a game is bad doesn't mean it's not worth preserving. And I feel like we need to preserve the history that is Aliens Colonial Marines, a historically terrible release that needs to live in our memories forever. Because I feel like I'm kidding. That's not my real answer. But I got Ron going for a second.
You really went there.
Yeah. To be fair, I believe in that statement though that even bad games should be preserved.
No, he's probably gonna say Final Fantasy 13 then.
No, because someone else said it in the comments. I avoided that.
Oh, okay.
That was actually originally on my list though.
Oh, okay.
But the
I think Chris did. And he was wrong.
I'm gonna actually give the most obvious one that no one said yet. Transformers War for Cybertron and Transformers Battle for Cybertron 1 complete experience. But the Transformers games from Activision and High Moon Studios were awesome. They were third-person shooters, and it was kind of like an original Transformers story. But the games were so fun to play. You play, of course, play as the Autobots. And you can transform at will between cars and planes and stuff, and you're going around shooting Decepticons, and it takes place on Cybertron, so it's not on Earth, and it's just both those games are so good, like way better than they had any right to be. Kind of like X-Men Origins Wolverine, that game that it kind of reminds me of that situation because that game is also way better than it ever should have been, and that's another one we could even put on this list too. But Transformers War for Cybertron and Battle for Cybertron, now that Xbox actually owns Activision Blizzard, I could see them actually going back to it. But Fulia, go ahead.
I didn't know this and I don't remember playing this, but my account tells me that I've played Transformers War of Cybertron.
Yes, let's go, Fulia.
I don't remember. I don't think I actually own the physical though. I feel like it was either maybe a digital purchase or it was a friend's copy that I borrowed potentially.
Hey.
But I don't think I played much of it because my trophy list says 0%, which means I didn't get very far.
Yeah, that means you didn't get out of the tutorial. That's okay.
No.
That's okay.
Oh, so like Matt and Forza.
Exactly.
Didn't get out of it. Must have been a bad tutorial.
Look, there's actually a lot of games on my list here that I'm looking at on the trophies list that I've got for games that say 0%, but I don't remember playing them and I don't own them, which is weird.
Maybe you just borrowed them from somebody.
But the thing is, I apparently have played Kung Fu Panda 2 and got 77% of the trophies. I don't have the game.
I'm more disgusted at the fact that you even have that on your trophy list, and you have 70% of it.
What's wrong with that? People should be.
I don't even remember playing it.
It's
so close.
I don't remember playing it.
Get that plat. Get that platinum. You're almost there.
Out of here.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't have the game though.
Call Sony and say, please remove this from my trophy list.
No, why would you remove it from the trophy list? Get the platinum.
Yeah.
Like Matt said.
Call PlayStation, say, give me back my copy of the game.
Yeah.
So I can get my platinum. Yep.
I love Kung Fu Panda. It's my favorite, like, DreamWorks animation.
I like the animation too.
The
game though, it's totally different.
But that's the thing. Like, I don't remember playing this game, and yet here I am saying that I've played 77% of it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a very long game. So
Probably not.
probably
It's
easy
probably,
to
it's
platinum.
probably one of those Rub the Beaver games or some mess like that.
Nah, just like
It's-
Avatar:
no.
The Last Airbender.
It's either I don't remember playing the game, but I did play it, or it was a friend that played it on my PlayStation on my account.
Or it was just so bad that your memory just said, I'm going to flush this.
No.
Like most players with Aliens Colonial Marines, Ron.
Or Final Fantasy 13.
No, that's not true. That game's actually
Wow.
yeah. Some of
Anyway.
the other ones I had real quick. I had Fear, First Encounter, Assault Recon, Tales of Xillia 1 and 2, 3D Dot Game Heroes, and Splinter Cell Conviction were the other ones I had. So there you go. But let's, of course, hear from Final Fantasy VIII is Life, Final Fantasy VIII is Love, who I'm assuming is Awesome Dave.
Awesome, Dave.
It's
Yeah.
Dave.
How do you know? How do you know that's awesome, Dave?
I mean, could be anyone.
Yeah. Come
It's
on.
Dave.
Anyways.
There's dozens of fans, apparently.
Dozens!
Dozens.
The man has made 2 name changes in like a couple of days. First it was Savoy Loves Final Fantasy 8, and now it's this.
Well, I mean, he's just speaking facts right there, Ron.
Dropping facts.
But
God.
anyways, he says, as I'm looking at my PS3 games, a trilogy comes to mind. One full experience, as one might say. We need the Final Fantasy 13 games on modern PlayStation consoles. You're dang right, Awesome Dave. We need those games. Those
Leave
games
that
are great.
buried right
Ron
where
can
it's
just
at.
shake his head all he wants. It just shows that he doesn't have taste in good video games.
That's fine. If Final Fantasy 13 is the bar set for having taste, I will gladly have 0.
I mean, those games are actually pretty good. I went back and played them pretty recently, and they're all fun. Yeah, especially because like this is something that you mentioned when talking about Metal Gear Solid 4, but like a lot of people who didn't like them at the time, weren't like they were a little bit. They played kind of like modern games in a lot of ways where they were very linear until they open up later. So people didn't like that at the time, but like most modern games play like that. So I think like a modern audience looking at those games for the first time would actually probably enjoy them a lot more. So, and plus they look really pretty. They got great music. I think all those games are great, especially 10 or 13 2 in particular. That game is very good.
Matt, you would hate the cast of Final Fantasy 13.
They looked cool from the box art that
Don't let
Awesome
the
Dave put
box
in
art fool
Discord.
you. Do not let the box art fool you. Don't let the box art fool you.
Really?
It looks cool. It's cool. It's cool, Matt. Trust me.
It looked cool.
Trust me.
Not gonna
Trust me.
lie.
Yeah. We got one in the chat.
I want you to play that.
All right, we got this one in the chat from It was saying Drakengard 3. I feel like it might even sell better since
no.
Nier has taken off. What do you
Rick,
think of that?
Rick, no.
Yes. I haven't played it yet. That's the only reason why it wasn't on my list because I played like 2 hours. I gotta
no.
play that game. Yes,
Why
yes
does
I
that,
do.
why
And we
does
need
that
it back.
person have a flower for an eye? I don't understand.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler
It's on
alert.
the cover. It's on the cover of the dang game.
You know what, Matt? Go ahead and play it. So we can hit the Ash Baby ending.
It's on my list. It's on the backlog. It's there.
Yeah.
I do want to. I do to play it.
Please, I need Matt to play Parasite Eve first before that happens.
Well, yes, please do play that. It's actually a better game. Yeah,
See,
that's fine.
Even Ron agrees.
I can do both. I can play them all. I'm done with
Yes,
Rebirth.
do that
Finally.
and Ash Baby. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
There it is.
All right, let's hear from the rest of the carpool. Let's hear from Quaggy first, who says, "I need Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance on modern consoles. It's a shame that it hasn't gotten a remaster or a sequel yet. The game is so much fun to play, and the story is pretty good, while also being pretty off the wall at the same time. My question for y'all though is, what is your favorite game that you've played so far this year?" Wow, that's very different from what I was expecting there. My favorite game that I played this year, Quaggy, to give everyone else the time to think, is a little game we talked about earlier in the show. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is my favorite game that I've played this year. I thought that game was really good. And even with the mini games, even with the incessant amount of mini games, in fact, so many mini games that there were more mini games that there are in Super Mario Party Jamboree at this point.
It's true.
There's too many.
It is true.
There's too many,
too
but
many.
it doesn't matter. That
Yeah.
game is very good. It's my favorite game that I played this year. Fulia, how about you? What's the favorite game they played this year?
I'm gonna have to say Harmony: The Fall of Reverie has been my favorite game that I've played this year. It may not have released this year, but it's one that's stuck with me since I finished it and platinumed it, and I absolutely love that game. I love story-rich visual novel style games, and that one, especially with the amount of like different choices and pathways and all different outcomes, and with the different endings, and it just really stuck with me quite a bit. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah, yes, Ron.
You just said that you like narrative and story-driven games. There's a lot of reading in Harmony, but you don't like to read.
No, so Harmony: The Fall of Reverie had voice acting.
Oh, okay.
So they did the reading for me.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Because that was very confusing.
No, if anything, the game we tell Fluid to stay away from is Final Fantasy 14. Because as Ron's probably seen from me on stream, there's so much reading in that game.
There's a lot of reading.
There is so much reading in that game.
But it's good. It's good reading.
Oh, it's good reading for sure. But it's so much.
Yeah,
oh my god! I basically like today
it's
on
not
stream.
a koala game whatsoever.
Today on stream,
I like to read. Jeez.
I was gonna say today on stream, I spent like.
That's
6
not the
hours
narrative.
reading.
The PlayStation channel even said has the narrative of that you don't like reading.
Yeah.
And I'm not the one that said it.
I don't mind reading, but it just balance it out with some gameplay, please.
Yeah. Matt, how about you?
It's the same as you, Ryan. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Outside of the Platinum experience, it is a phenomenal game. I highly recommend it. It's so much fun. Great music, great combat. Definitely recommend it for sure. It's been, again, despite the Platinum experience, still the highlight of 2024 for me.
Nice. Ron?
Ragnarok. Spidey 2 has a chance, but it's too early to say right now, so Ragnarok is going to be the pick.
Okay. Also, I'm going to give Seth a shout out because Seth came in here and said, "Hi, I'm here with the only true answer for the PS3 game that needs to come over, and that's Tokyo Jungle." Do you? I know, Fulia, you chimed in chat. You didn't know what Tokyo Jungle is. Do
I
you
have
know
no idea what
Jungle
that is.
Seth, once again, is trolling. Do not...
That's a fine game. Get out of here, Ron.
I think he was being truthful. Like, I think he does like.
The thing is, you never know with Seth. You never know when he's being genuine or when he's trolling. I think he's trolling on that one. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Have you seen Tokyo Jungle?
No, I don't know what it is.
Hang on, let me pull something up. You kids talk to you amongst yourself.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it myself. I've never heard of it.
As soon as I said that I didn't know what it was, I never heard of it to Seth. Seth put a sad face emoji up. So I feel like he's actually being truthful.
Well, there's only probably like 14 people that may have actually enjoyed that game. We're gonna find out.
He even says in chat, one of my favorite PS3 games, no cap.
Yeah, I saw.
What is this?
You play
That's
as,
Tokyo.
You
That's
play
Tokyo.
as some
Puppies?
dogs. Yeah, and you're in like a post-apocalyptic Tokyo, and like,
Oh,
you're
wait,
going
what?
around and like
As
saving
puppies?
animals.
No.
You can't. This looks weird.
Hang on.
No,
It is,
not as small little
It is.
puppies.
It's so dark.
I wanted
you're
to
playing
just
as a
skip
dog the
ahead
whole
for a
time?
second, and now it's just buffering endlessly.
It's like, load, damn it,
That's okay.
load.
Even YouTube was like, you don't want to watch this.
Damn.
So you of course take over different territories, and you're fighting off different animals. It's a cool game. You're just playing as a little dog. There's like
Oh
deer
my
and stuff around.
gosh.
Yeah.
Is it a cool game?
No,
Cool
no, it's
game.
not.
Defeat 20
no, it's
different.
not.
Defeat
You're in
20
Japan.
animals.
Yeah.
You're in Japan.
Posted-
What?
Look at that. You
What
found
did that
love
dog
right
just
there.
do?
They got they little hearts. came out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can romance in this game.
Yes. But yes, as Seth alludes to, you can play as 200 different animals, and they all have like different gameplay styles and stuff like that.
200 animals.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Did those dogs just beat down another animal?
Yeah.
And eat it?
It said they had to defeat 20 animals.
You'd have to eat the other animal. It's kind of
They're
barbaric,
sick.
no?
Big
What
rat.
the heck is this game?
So I wonder
bit
if I
much.
to sit there and take this into perspective here. Seth enjoys Tokyo Jungle, but he hates Ghost of Tsushima. This is an outrage. It's despicable.
I
Disgusting.
don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of coming around to Seth's side of things here. I think he's
Well, that's
got
not a
taste.
surprise, Ryan.
Well, I mean, after you besmirched the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy run, I don't know if I can trust anything you say anymore.
That's fine with me.
Good God. Anyways, moving on. We should probably actually get to the rest of these questions, huh? Ryu says, "Oh man, you're gonna love this game, Ron. Drakengard 3 is stuck on PlayStation 3 with no ports or anything. It deserves to be ported for modern consoles. I'm not biased at all. So question for you all. D-makes are pretty interesting to see pulled off. For example, there's a Bloodborne D-make that remakes the game with PS1 style graphics. Are there any PS3, PS4, or PS5 era games that you would like to see get the D-make treatment with PS1 graphics?
I have no idea what that means.
So the idea of taking a current game, Fulia, and bringing it down to having like PS1 graphics, or making it 2D or something like that, like making the
PS1
game feel like
version
an
of
old game.
it.
Yeah, or older even.
Yeah.
So like the classic example is for me that is not a current game, but it could be.
Seth, get out of here.
So Final Fantasy VII, there's been a demake for years of Final Fantasy VII where they actually made Final Fantasy VII like Final Fantasy VI from the Super Nintendo.
Oh.
With all the characters having like basically like the 16-bit art versions of those characters. And it looks like super cool. It's actually like
That'd be very cool
game to play through. But obviously that doesn't count for this particular one. So what I would say is I would love to see Mass Effect, but with like PS1 style graphics, or like make it more of like a PS1 style role playing game. But you could even make it turn based or something like that rather than action based. And I think that would be pretty interesting. So my answer is Mass Effect. But who has an answer for this one?
I'm gonna go with Resident Evil Village. Give me a PS1 version.
Oh my God.
Give me the tank controls. Stay with me, people. Give me the tank controls. Give me the fixed cameras. I would be all over. Just such a refreshing experience. At first, I was going to say Days Gone, but I was like, there's no way it can handle the hordes. It would be like 3 frames per second. So that doesn't make any sense.
It
But
wouldn't
you
be
could
able to handle
definitely-
that many freakers, you know?
No, it wouldn't. It would be, it'd be like 3 frames per second. It'd just be so jank. But we know for a fact Resident Evil games on PS1 work phenomenally. So yeah, just give me a Resident Evil Village version of it. And quick note for everybody, the Resident Evil Classic Collection, 1, 2, and 3, they are back, baby. They're on, almost back. They're on PC through GOG, but that's one step closer to consoles. We're almost there, Ryan. It's almost back on consoles.
Almost, but I should also point out, Matt, they're selling them as one purchase. One might
One full
argue that
experience.
is what they're all 3 of them are one experience, one complete
I
experience.
agree.
Yeah,
1, 2, and 3.
yeah.
Different
exactly.
protagonists, but I agree. Yes.
Well, I mean, Jill is in 2 of the 3 games.
There you go. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
the connective tissue is right there. So
Thank you, Ryan.
Ron's just ready to kill us. He's just ready to walk out of here right now.
Stay with us, Ron.
Between everything that Seth's
Stay
saying
with
in
us.
chat and then us, it's just like he's just like, get me out of here. This was
It's too much.
yeah.
Come on, bro.
let me put this out there. Astro's Playroom.
I'm not even sure that
I
could
can see
run
that.
on a PS1.
No, I mean, like, if you
can
make
see
it
that.
like
Just-
a
just
demake
slow it down.
PS1 sort of a version of
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
not too
Yeah,
much
I
in
can see
terms
it.
of detail, just make it simple. I think
Yeah.
that'd be really cool.
Platformer. Yeah,
I mean-
I can see it.
You could,
I like
it could just be like a Bug's Life on PS1. Like it just could be like a 3D platforming game. It'd be fine.
Yeah, and just make the levels so that it can, it doesn't involve too many like extra bonus sort of like features and all that sort of stuff, and just make it simple. Just run around and collecting things and just jumping up and down and all that sort of stuff. Well, why not?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And if I was going in the opposite direction, I'd say, well, why don't we bring Pepsi Man forward and make it a much
Yes.
bigger modern
Yes.
experience? Just,
That's not.
get Pepsi
Ron's
Man go.
out.
No,
Ron's done.
that wasn't the question, Ryan. That's not. No, that's not what the question was. No. It's modern games to old.
Yeah,
I'm with
Pepsi Man
Ryan.
to
High
you.
five.
yeah.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
God.
No.
I'm mad. We're the only
I'm
ones
with-
left.
No.
Yeah, there we go. In the
Killing
group
me
chat
there.
earlier, Flea was talking about Pepsi Man too, so I was just like, I mean, it just brought it to mind.
All right, Ron. Tell everybody why, or tell Seth why Ghost of Tsushima should or should not be a
I
remake.
am not going to
Tell
entertain. I am not going to entertain that. I'm not answering this question. D-Makes are ugly to me. So
Yeah, photorealistic
Multi-pass.
Pepsi Man.
Decima Engine Pepsi Man. I love that, Seth. Let's do it. Get Kojima involved. Let's go.
Yeah.
oh god.
No,
Hideo
God.
Kojima presents Pepsi Man. Good God. What are we even doing on this show anymore? God. I miss the
hard
days
to
of Blue
say.
Box. What are we doing? All right, moving on. We got Kiku who says, not that any of you will know this game, but I would love to see Tears of Terra 2 on PlayStation 5. I love that game, but it's forever trapped on the PlayStation 3. Now, before I get to your question, Kiku, I just want to point out that you mentioned that no one here would know what you're talking about. I own a copy of that game in the other room.
Wow.
I've never played it
It is.
because it was on the list of like games I wanted to collect for PS3 that I knew I would want to play later, and that's on my list of games to play at some point. So I actually own that game. But I'm just sorry, I'm laughing in the chat because I saw Seth put Pepsi Man Hideo Kojima game. I'm just like, yes, please.
No,
Yes,
Seth.
please.
No, we
Yes.
don't need that.
Yes,
no.
thanks, Seth. Yeah. Yes.
The man loves Tokyo Jungle. So at this point in time, he can
Pepsi
like a
Man
Kojima
came
But
back.
again, Ron, you don't
Or
like Final Fantasy
Kojima.
13. I don't know if I can. I don't even. I could look at you the same.
There's
way
more of me than you.
That's actually true. You're probably right about that. You're probably right about that. Anyways, getting to Kiku's question. Kiku asks, for my question, which PS3 game is your favorite PS3 game and why? For me personally, my favorite game on the PS3 is probably Mass Effect, the original Mass Effect. Even though it came later, I love the Mass Effect trilogy in all of them. And I mean, if I could say just one complete experience, then I would just say the Mass Effect trilogy, which is available as a single SKU. You can play them all in one collection. But I love the Mass Effect games, and those are probably my favorite PlayStation 3 games. Although if I'm thinking about PlayStation exclusives, it's probably Infamous 2. It's probably my favorite one. But let's go around the horn. Ron, what's your favorite PS3 game?
Red Dead Redemption 1, baby. Love Westerns. At that time, I was still a Rockstar fan, so RDR was everything that I wanted in a game, really, at that time. That was just a great game. Great story. The gameplay was fun as hell. Yeah. No other PS3 game really came close as far as, action adventure games. Mass Effect 1 was a good pick, though. Yeah. That was a good pick.
Yes. Good answer. Good answer. All right, Matt, how about you?
I'm gonna go with one of the GOATs. It's got to be The Last of Us. What a groundbreaking masterpiece on the PS3. Didn't quite blow me away right away, but it did, set the bar very high. And obviously, came back PS4 remastered. Then I really got the hit in the feels, but still, leave it to Naughty Dog to push the graphical boundaries of the hardware, and in terms of storytelling, right? Like we didn't see too many games that would go that hard, especially in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So yeah, The Last of Us for sure, 100% PS3.
And Jerry got what he deserved.
Or Jerry.
Poor Jerry. Anyways, Fulia, how about you? Do you have a favorite PS3 game?
I played a lot of Lego games on my PS3, and so I'm gonna say Lego Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. Just being able to play as,
I didn't know
Captain
they made a
Jack
Lego
Sparrow.
version of that.
Just
I didn't know that
running
existed.
around. It's so good. It's so good. I love that game so much. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun being able to play these different licensed IPs in Lego form. So that even Lego Harry Potter, which has been ported over, I think, to the Switch and
There was a Lego
I
Harry
think the
Potter game?
PS4. Yeah, Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
you didn't know that?
So they had
I don't
Lego
pay attention
Harry
to Lego
Potter
games,
come
to be
out
honest.
years 1 to 4 in one game, and then years 5 to 7 in another. So it's like part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, and then they just, I think on PS4 they released them just as one game.
As one whole, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can play them all together. I loved playing those Lego games. They were so much fun. They had like hilarious Lego sort of humor to it, and yeah, and it's just the licensed IP that you know and love. So I really enjoyed playing them a lot. So they're my favorite PS3 games. And sometimes I kind of wish if they bring back, like I know they've already done Harry Potter, and a couple of the others, and like Star Wars, but I kind of wish they also brought over like some of the other Lego games that had come out back then, but I suppose it's not really relevant now, so that's probably why they haven't done it. So
no, a lot of them are on
always
Xbox
yeah,
they're on.
Lego's always a big deal.
Yeah, they're all on backwards compatible on Xbox, but
yeah, I mean,
none of them on
PlayStation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's how they brought them back, like Lego Indiana Jones and stuff like that. Like
yeah,
a lot of those would be cool to see.
Wow, do you know there's a Lego Lego Jones?
There's two of them.
Jurassic
Wow.
Park.
Yeah, well, actually, Jurassic Park is
wow.
on the modern consoles at least, so you got that at least. But
Yeah.
Look at Matt. We're learning a whole bunch of stuff today.
in fact, actually,
Didn't know that existed.
Fuya, did you see that they're bringing back Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, as one of the classics games?
Oh, really?
Next month? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They're yeah.
Well,
so
I wouldn't know. I don't have the classic library.
Oh no, but you can buy them on the store. Is what I'm saying too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
they're a la carte. I think they're $10 Canadian. So
nice.
the reason I bring that up is because I think you actually will see more of this with the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 re-releases of them.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But
I need Rick. I need Rick to stop this. You're supposed to be my friend, and you're stabbing me in the back every. First Dragon
No,
Garden.
we
now
do not
this.
need a Lego game of Tokyo Jungle or Pepsi Man. No,
You
we
ain't
do
lying.
not.
That is
we
not-
kind of
no.
do actually.
No.
Pepsi Man, actually, that would
Lego
be awesome.
Pepsi Man. Oh my god.
Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
You know, next thing we need after that is Lego Sneak King. I think would be a good game too.
Okay, that would be creepy.
Creepy but awesome.
No. I can't agree with you on that one, Ryan. Sorry.
Oh man.
Please
Well,
stop.
you know, at least you agree on the. Oh well. Hold on. What if we did this as Lego Fied? What if we did this classic game on the Sega Genesis?
Okay.
Here we
kind
go.
of need this to happen. What about Crazy Bus?
Oh.
Crazy
No.
Bus needs to come back.
How would this
Crazy
even
Bus?
work as a Lego
I'm trying to
game?
see where the-
How?
PlayStation Drive.
Look at this.
PlayStation
You
Drive
just
fans,
get the,
I am
you make
sorry.
the bus
I
Lego,
apologize.
and then you just make it scroll, and it's a game, man. It's a great game.
What?
Look at the bus
Really?
moving back
This
and
does
forth.
not need to be
This
a
is
Lego
your fault,
game.
Koala.
No.
This is your fault.
No.
I didn't bring up Crazy
You
Bus. Thank
encouraged
you very
encouraged
much.
Pepsi Man, and now we're down the hole here.
Lego Crazy Bus. Let's
Look where
go,
we are.
baby.
On our way to hell.
Anyways,
Extra Life is going to be hilarious.
Extra Life is going to be hilarious. Anyways, moving on. Black Wyver has the honors of the final question of the show. Black Wyver says, since Arkham Origins is unlikely to be remade, which is a shame, I would really like to see the game make it to PS5 through the emulation, which it is available on streaming on PlayStation Plus, but no one wants to play it that way. We need it, of course, locally. Question for the show is, what are your thoughts on this yet to be released game, The Alters? So this game was one that we saw at the old Summer Game Fest a long time ago. And this is a game where you basically play as a dude who basically clones himself a bunch of times. And these clones have different personalities and stuff like that. And you're in this, kind of like space station, and you're just trying to, survive essentially by going around this planet. So what do y'all think about this game? Do you even remember this game at all?
The trailer looked
Never heard
interesting
of it.
at the Xbox. I can't remember what it was earlier this year, but you throw in survival and like base management and stuff. That's the first way to get me to multi-pass on something. So it's gonna
I
be a
just saw a
multi-pass.
Dyson fan in there.
Yeah, it's in there.
It does look like
But the
a fan.
concept sounds cool. It's just like I said, just some gameplay elements I don't mess with in there. So chances are I won't play it, but it certainly looks cool.
This looks like a Sean game.
Yeah, it kind of does actually.
Yes, it
Because
actually does.
no, this was at the Game Awards, and I think when we were watching it, like Sean was like, "Oh, that game looks pretty cool." So
It's space.
it is space. You're not wrong. Yeah, I don't know. For me, like I'm kind of with Ron on this one. I think the concept's cool, but I'm not really into the survival store stuff. So. or
Oh,
base building.
character creation. There it is. Fee's going to be in there for 100 hours.
Well, I don't know if you even create the characters though. It's just you're cloning the character, and I think it randomly generates a person.
Oh,
for you.
okay.
But I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Okay.
Anyways, that's The Alters. I don't know if we're super into it. Although
Cast
Matt, I didn't hear
management
from
in
you.
it. Surely Koala would be interested.
Yeah.
Nah,
You
I'm
know,
good.
if
Not
it's
cozy.
$3.99, I check it out. No, it's not a cozy game.
It's not cozy at all.
Needs
doesn't seem
a
cozy
few
to me.
little animals in it, and then it'll be cozy enough for it.
No. I just I don't like survival games. Survival games are not my thing.
Same. Big same. Like that.
Yeah.
That is a multi-pass for Ryan. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, now the real question is, Ron, is the Fifth Element on the PlayStation 1 a multi-pass for you? I'm curious.
Is it a game?
It is a game. You
I
didn't
love
know
the
that
movie.
there's a Fifth Element
I love
game?
the movie, but I would never play the game.
All right, I need to show you this game because it's.
Oh, God, please
it's-
don't. You put me through enough
the
hell
exception.
today. I'm good.
What are you talking about? I've
Maybe it's
only
the
brought
exception.
good games to the table, Ron. You know.
No. Let's see this. Let's see this.
See, you play as Lilu Dallas multi-pass, and you're going around, and you've got like tank controls, and it looks like this.
Oh, God, look at that
It
running.
doesn't look that
animation.
bad.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that bad. Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
look
Jump
at
kick.
that. No,
Kick that-
that animation is
Pow.
horrible.
Yeah.
Pow, pow, pow.
look at her attacking.
No,
him
it
through
doesn't look that
wall.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, standard PS1 jank. Come on.
I only brought
It's
this
charming.
up, Ron, because that's the ultimate multi-pass game. It's the only game that actually contains a multi-pass.
You have to
there
play
it
at this
is.
point.
Yeah. I mean,
have
There
to.
it is. Yep.
Ron's out. He's done. He doesn't deal with this anymore. He's just like, I can't. Anyways, before Ron just quits the show, we should probably, of course, thank all of our patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Started with our ultimate producers, Jonathan Brown, the man behind the music on this podcast, as well as the Xbox Drive. You can check out all of his music over at Purple Bunty Entertainment at the Linktree, linktr.ee/PME/JIB. And Cwagmire, who humbly reminds you that the best babes are, in fact, Xenobabes. All the links to all of our ultimate producers can always be found in the description of this podcast, and please support them if you could, just because, we love them and they support us in amazing ways. Our platinum producers, Smokin Joe, The Captain, and Tim Paullin, and our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, or is it Final Fantasy VIII is love, Final Fantasy VIII is life? Who knows at this point? BobLoblaw, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, CowboyDangerD, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Drellesh, Emily O'Kelly, Hoppel, Jan32, Patrice Mallette, Peje EP, Shane Erickson, Tech Mike, and Tim Aulph. Huge thank you once again for all of our patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. And if you want to join in with us, head on over there and choose the tier that's right for you. And now, Ron Plugs go.
Savoy Prime everywhere. PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, backlogged, PSN profiles, True Trophies. Savoy_Prime on Twitter.
Nice. Matt, where can people find you?
You can find me as Nagachaka on Twitter and the Carpool Gaming Discord, on TikTok, on Instagram, it's Nagachaka12247. And for the next few months, no more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth pictures. Not for a very long time.
Nice. Fulia, where can people find you?
You can find me, Foolish Fuji, over on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the things. But to get all the links to everything and more, foolishfuji.card.co.
Card.co.
Card with 2 R's.
Card.
And that'll give you all the links to everything, including my podcast and all that sort of stuff.
Nice. As for me, you can find me playing Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
I'm Mitsuba Darkstone in the Dynamis World server. We're in Seraph. Seraph is our home server. By the way, if you would like to join the Carpool Gaming Free Company, yes, we have a Carpool Gaming Free Company in Final Fantasy 14. Just reach out to me or hit us up on the Discord. The Discord, by the way, free to join. In the description of this podcast, you can head on over there. There's new people popping in the Discord every single day. And let me tell you what, folks. We might have a house. We might have a house soon. I'm up for auction. I'm only bidding against 3 other people. It might actually happen this time. I've been trying to get a house for Carpool Gaming for 9 months now, and it might actually happen.
Only 9 months.
Only 9 months. It might finally happen. So there's that. You also find me on X at Ryan Turford. You also find us on X at Carpool Gaming. Also, you can find me streaming Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. We're at twitch.tv/Carpool Gaming Live. Of course, our YouTube right here, youtube.com/Carpool Gaming. Of course, podcast services around the globe. So for Fulia, Matt, and Ron, I'm Ryan. This has been the PlayStation Drive episode 156, and we're out. Good night, everybody.
Adios,
See
friends.
ya.
Thanks for checking out this week's episode of the PlayStation Drive. Now, before you drive off, please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us at Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget to check out our awesome merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, where you'll unlock all kinds of exclusive content. Links to